Hello, good evening, friends. God bless you. It's almost midnight, and I'm reading from First King chapter 17, and the great story about Elijah and um, God stirred up something and revealed to me, and I could not sleep without recording these videos. And I hope that God will bless you tonight. The story in First King chapter 17 is about Elijah's ministry, where how God is growing him in faith before the great victory which we talk an awakening he bring to Israel. I think that was a calling in his life to bring that great awakening to the people, where he challenged people later on that you decide whom you wanted to serve. You wanted to serve Baal, or you wanted to serve the living God. And he brought the fire from heaven and proved that God, the God of Israel, is the true God. And it was an awakening. That was a calling on his life. But to come to that point, what happened in chapter 17, First King chapter 17, is very important. The chapter starts, First King chapter 17 starts with Elijah proclaimed that there will not be a rain. Now, there was no specific time is given that how long the rain will not come. And God told Elijah to go and hid himself by the brook of Cherith, and there was a water that he was drinking from this brook. And then the raven were bringing him food every day. And Elijah didn't know how long he has to stay there. And eventually, the brook dried up. So I don't think it dried up immediately, because there was no rain, and slowly but slowly the water was drying up. And Elijah must be watching this water drying up day by day, by day. And then one day he realized there is no more water. And you may be in a same situation in your life, where you are watching the water is started drying up, and it is almost about to dry up, or the water is completely dried up. And the word of the Lord came and said that Elijah, now go to Zarephath. Now, if you don't realize that Zarephath was not just another city where he has to go, where God told him that go to Zarephath, and I have made a provision for you to live there throughout this drought and time of trouble. So Elijah took this journey and went to Zarephath. We read in the scripture that he went there and stayed with that widow. Now, however, if you don't know the geography, then Zarephath was 100 miles far from where Elijah was hiding. Now Elijah did not know that how he will reach there, because it's 100 miles on foot. It's a very long journey. And there was no water nowhere. Even the brook he was living on, the water from the brook had dried up. Bible doesn't say that when he was making a journey from Cherith to Zarephath, how he drank or how he survived. But he took a step of faith. He took the journey in a direst or the darkest time. And God might be asking you tonight that you need to step out in faith where the water is dried up. And God is telling you to go somewhere where you don't know how you will go there, or what provisions will be there on the way to reach there. There is a journey. Yes, God has told us that in Zarephath there is a provision for him, but what about that journey? There is nothing. He has to take a step of faith. And not only that, Zarephath is not another ordinary town. It was a very significant town from It is about 8 miles south of Sidon. And you know, the king Jezebel, who is the enemy of Elijah, who wanted to kill Elijah, and she is from Sidon. So God is telling that Elijah, you have to go to Zarephath, the place where, which is 8 miles south of Sidon, from where the Queen Jezebel came from. And Zarephath, its meaning is melt, because that is the place where they were melting the metals and they were making the idols of Baal. So anybody wants the Baal's idol, they have to go to Zarephath. So it is a place of totally darkness and chaos, and a place that you don't want it to be. And God is telling Elijah, go to Zarephath. And he did went there. He went by faith, taking this 100-mile journey in a totally place where he could have been killed, because it's a place of Queen Jezebel. But God sustained him. And when he came out from Zarephath, we see the greatest miracle or encounter we saw, where he brought the fire from heaven and proved that God is true God. My friend, it's a journey of faith. It's our destiny to fulfill our destiny, or to realize what is our true calling on our life is. God is taking us to a journey that is totally requires our faith. And God is so patient. And God says that, look, Elijah, even the brook is dry, go and drink water. But when it started drying up, God said, okay, go to Zarephath. I will provide you. But God says that you will live. There is a provision there in Zarephath. But there is a long journey, and you have to trust me that I'll take care of you. So if God is taking you from one place to another place, if your brook is drying up, maybe it's a time that God is fulfilling your purpose in your life, your calling of your life, to bring a great victory, to bring awakening in somebody's life, or generation for that matter. God did not provide food just for Elijah, but because Elijah went there, the widow of Zarephath lived. So when God is leading you somewhere, you may become a reason for somebody's life. You may become a reason for great awakening. You may be reason for great breakthrough and victory. So hope that God would strengthen you tonight, and it will empower. God will empower you to take a step of faith, to step out of your boat, walk on the water. God has called you, and He will be with you. I think God has blessed you tonight. Thank you.